How is Connor Williams doing in his adjustment to center? In particular, I've noticed a few times where shotgun snaps come up and hit to it right about here. Is that to be expected of a guy who was mainly a guard before? Or
Yeah, I think his transition's gone really smoothly. I give all the credit to him. I think he's a guy that could easily looked at it a little bit of a different way, being a guy who's a veteran player who's been in this league and has had success. But instead, he came in and said, whatever you guys want me to do for the team, I'll do, and I really appreciate that. And I think he's absolutely attacked it, and because of that, the transition's been smooth. Certainly, not every snap's been perfect. I guess to answer your second question, sure, a guy transitioning into position, you might have a little more of an expectation of some snaps kind of being off target a little bit. But, it's just a work in progress, and I think it's getting better every day. Like I said, he's attacking it. And I think everything's been going pretty good so far.
One guy whose name hasn't come up probably quite as much, because we just assume that he's going to be what he's been, is Rob Hunt. How's he doing?
He's doing great. Robon's doing great. He's been practicing his ass off. Again, like all of them, gives everything that we ask of him. He's a really talented guy. He's powerful. He's physical. He's really smart. He sees the defense, makes subtle adjustments. I think he's had an excellent camp so far.
Your thoughts on Kellen Deesh, Blaze Andrews? What do they do well? What do they need to improve?
Well, they're both rookies. I think they've both come in and given us, they've locked into what we're asking them to do. You know what I mean? I've seen rookies before really struggle with mental errors, not understanding or comprehending what we're asking of them, and that hasn't been a problem with those guys. And that's a testament to their work ethic, their intelligence, things that they do well. I mean, Kellen is a really athletic kid. He can run and he can change directions. Blaze is a big, strong guy. He can move people. He can anchor. And then they both have things that they need to work on. I'm not going to get too much into their weaknesses, but I mean, definitely everyone's got things they got to work on. It's obviously rookies.
How'd you like Blaze's pumping up the fans?
Oh, incredible. So I didn't know what he was going to do. It wasn't like we told him what to do. We just told him that he was doing it. And I thought he killed it. I thought he knocked it out of the park. So I couldn't. I was all the way over here, so I couldn't really hear what he was saying in terms of the chant. That was unique. But he certainly got the crowd to do it, which is impressive. And then when he broke out the energy drinks and smashed it on his head, I was like, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough to someone to top that. So I thought it was awesome. Yeah, he got a lot of points from me.
How do you wind up getting picked for the job?
I think it's just kind of his, it's a rookie thing. So, I mean, there's that. And then he's a kind of a fun personality. And I think there was a certain expectation like that he'd live up to the standard. I think he exceeded that, which is awesome. Now we have a new standard, which for all the guys doing that, and also for anything we ask of him, which he's a great kid. Yeah.
So what's he doing in meetings? If we saw that, what's he doing?
No, he's doing everything we ask of him in meetings. We just put a little extra on his plate with that. That's all. Yeah.
Well, you probably already asked about it. Everyone else asked. I'm surprised he's got it. Strides you've seen first from Austin Jackson, Liam Eichenberg, a couple young guys that you've now gotten to
Yeah.
your way.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've seen strides out of both of those guys. I mean, both of those guys have bought in what we're asking them to do. Their understanding of the offense, both schematically, fundamentally, technique-wise, all that stuff has improved over the course of the offseason and the training camp continuation. They're playing physical for us, not making a lot of mistakes. I think those guys are really progressing well.
What have been the biggest teaching points for you, the new zone, outside zone scheme to be taught to some of these guys who are in offense before?
Yeah.
What have been kind of the main things you've tried to say?
I mean, that could be a really long, specific, detailed answer, and I don't know if that's exactly what you're looking for. Certainly the running off the ball, using our angles to our advantage, just playing free, and some of those things, like that. It's hard sometimes. A lot of the linemen, I think, over time they get scarred and they play things safe to not get beat. It's hard to have success in this scheme if that is the way you play the game. So just continuing to harp on that. But there's a million coaching points and specifics within the style of running it. I can't really get into here, but coaching them up on the bare bones of the scheme, getting them to take off, run off the ball, hit your aiming points, run through contact, play through the whistle, all that stuff. Yeah.
What's one thing that's left you encouraged and one thing that's left you discouraged? Everything.
Encouraged? I'd say that he's taken to it with really no real hiccups. I mean, like, not everything's perfect, but I mean, the guy has had a nice career up to this point playing guard. He could have easily been like, yeah, that's not what I want to do. And we would have had to have a harder conversation. And instead, he's like, whatever the team needs from me, and he jumped right in, and then he's been doing a great job in there, and for that position, he's got all the quickness and stuff that you'd like, but he's also a strong, powerful man, which is great to have. So, I mean, I'm encouraged as hell about that. And, I mean, discouraged, I'm not trying to just beat around the bush and avoid your question. There's nothing I'm discouraged about. I mean, everyone's got things they got to work on. He was just asking me, well, some of the snaps are a little high. Okay, well, yeah, that's something we got to work on, obviously, right? But to say I'm discouraged about that wouldn't be accurate, I mean, I think his play up in the camp so far has been really good. So, I mean, I'm not discouraged at all.